What happens when an entitled prince meets a no-nonsense journalist who refuses to play by royal rules? You're about to witness one of the most explosive interviews in recent memory, where privilege meets hard-hitting journalism, and the results are devastating. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. What do you think about celebrities who can't handle tough questions? Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of this showdown. The atmosphere in the studio that evening was electric. Kevin O'Sullivan, famed for his razor-sharp wit and refusal to bow to celebrity status, sat across from Prince Harry for what was supposed to be a routine promotional interview about the prince's latest charitable endeavor. From the moment the cameras rolled, it was clear this would not be a typical royal puff piece. Prince Harry, thank you for joining us tonight, Kevin began, his voice blending politeness with a hint of skepticism, the hallmark of a formidable interviewer. I'm curious about your new foundation. You're asking the British public to donate to help underprivileged children, which is admirable, but some might find it a bit rich coming from someone who's been vocal about his disdain for this country. Harry stiffened immediately. I think you're mischaracterizing my position, he replied. I've never expressed disdain for Britain or its people. I've been critical of certain institutions, yes, but that's not the same thing. Kevin leaned forward. You've spent years painting Britain as oppressive, and now you're back asking for donations. Don't you see how that might seem tone-deaf? Harry's jaw tightened. You're twisting my words. I've been open about my struggles with royal life, but I've never attacked the British people. This foundation is about helping children regardless of where they come from. But that's the problem, Kevin shot back. You talk about helping children while undermining the very institutions that provide stability for millions. You can't trash the monarchy in one breath and expect people to rally behind your charitable causes in the next. Harry's face flushed. I find your characterization deeply unfair. I've never trashed the monarchy. I've spoken honestly about my experiences and challenges. Oh, come off it, Kevin scoffed. Your wife went on national TV, accusing unnamed family members of worrying about your son's skin color. How is that not attacking the institution? Harry's voice rose. That interview was about sharing our truth and raising issues of race and mental health. It wasn't an attack. Kevin's response was icy. Your truth? What about the millions who respect the royal family? Your grandmother served this country faithfully for 70 years. Doesn't her truth matter? Of course it does, Harry said through gritted teeth. But I have a right to tell my story without being crucified for it. Absolutely, Kevin agreed. But rights come with responsibilities. You can't make millions from tell-all interviews while keeping your royal titles and expect sympathy. The studio fell silent. Tension crackled through the air as Harry's media handler shifted nervously off camera. I think you're being deliberately inflammatory, Harry finally said. I came to talk about helping disadvantaged children, not to be lectured about my personal choices. Kevin didn't relent. That's exactly the problem. You want to compartmentalize, monetize your royal connections when convenient, then play the victim when questioned. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm not playing the victim, Harry snapped. I'm trying to do good while being authentic about my experiences. If that threatens people, maybe they need to examine why they cling to a narrative that doesn't reflect reality. Kevin raised an eyebrow. Threatens people? Prince Harry, you're sitting in a studio worth millions, in a suit worth more than most people earn in months, lecturing the British public about reality. Do you see the irony? I see someone focused on real issues, Harry replied, his composure cracking. This is the toxic media environment I've been talking about. Kevin's incredulity was palpable. Toxic? You mean an environment where journalists ask difficult questions instead of nodding along? How unfair for you. The cameras rolled as tension mounted. Harry clenched his hands, knuckles white. I think you're being deliberately obtuse, Harry said. There's a difference between asking difficult questions and ambushing someone with loaded accusations. Kevin laughed. Everything I've mentioned comes from your own words. Interviews, books, public statements. If that embarrasses you, maybe you should have thought before you spoke. I'm not embarrassed, Harry insisted, though his voice betrayed him. I'm frustrated that you twist everything to fit your narrative. What narrative? Kevin asked. That actions have consequences. That public figures should be held accountable. That you can't have your royal cake and eat it too. That I'm a traitor to my country and family. Harry shot back. Kevin remained calm. I never called you a traitor. But let's be honest. What would you call someone who takes money from foreign governments while undermining British institutions? Someone who profits from family drama while claiming to want privacy? Harry's face reddened. Someone trying to build a different life while contributing positively to society. But clearly you've already made up your mind, have I? Kevin countered. Or have you? You came expecting soft questions and automatic deference. When you didn't get it, you played the victim. I'm not playing any cards, Harry said. I want to discuss important issues, but you seem more interested in character assassination. Character assassination? Kevin's voice rose. I'm using your own words, actions, and statements. If that's assassination, maybe the problem isn't me. Tension thickened, nearly visible. Harry's handler gestured frantically, but Kevin ignored him. You speak about mental health struggles, Kevin continued. Which is fine, but don't you find it convenient that whenever someone criticizes your behavior, you fall back on mental health as an excuse? Harry's eyes flared. That's out of line. Mental health isn't an excuse, it affects millions. Trivializing it shows exactly who you are. Kevin's tone went quiet, sharp. What kind of person? One who asks tough questions of public figures who profit from royal connections, while attacking the institutions that gave them those connections. Harry's voice shook. You think privilege negates struggle? You weaponize mental health to dismiss real concerns. Kevin nodded slowly. So anyone who questions Prince Harry's contradictions is attacking mental health. Convenient. I'm saying your approach is inflammatory. Designed to cause maximum damage, Harry replied. Kevin leaned back. Damage to whom, you? Your reputation? From where I'm sitting, it's institutions millions hold dear that take the hit. I'm not damaging anything, Harry insisted. I'm trying to modernize, bring transparency and accountability. Kevin feigned surprise. Transparency? When you and your wife made unsubstantiated claims on TV? When you published a book filled with private grievances? Those were our experiences. Harry fired back. Your truth, Kevin said with disdain. What about verification? Corroboration? The basics of journalism, or does that not apply when you're a prince with a book deal? I don't need to verify my experiences, I lived them. Harry said, rising again. Kevin countered calmly. Memory is funny, especially with money and emotion involved. How do we know your version isn't colored by hurt or anger? Harry, now red-faced, snapped. Are you suggesting I made up racism or the lack of support for mental health? Kevin's voice remained steady. I'm suggesting your version is presented as objective truth without giving others a chance to respond. That's unfair. They had chances to respond, Harry protested. Or perhaps they chose dignity over a public family feud, Kevin replied, dripping with sarcasm. Perhaps they chose the traditional royal approach, never complain, never explain. Perhaps they chose to maintain a cover-up, Harry countered. Perhaps they put the institution above the people. Or perhaps, Kevin said, his voice rising with intensity, they chose to protect the monarchy, the symbol of stability and continuity for millions over the feelings of one privileged individual who couldn't handle the responsibilities of his position. The studio fell silent again. Harry's breathing was heavy, his hands trembling slightly as he gripped the arms of his chair. You have no idea what you're talking about, Harry finally said, barely above a whisper. You have no idea what it's like to grow up under constant scrutiny, to have your mental health ignored when you're crying out for help. You're right, Kevin acknowledged. I don't know that. But I do know what it's like to work for a living. I know what it's like to pay taxes supporting an institution you've spent years undermining. I know what it's like to watch someone with every advantage in life complain about how hard they have it. Harry's voice rose, incredulous. You think losing your mother at 12 is an advantage? You think having your grief turned into a public spectacle is an advantage? No, Kevin said softly. And I'm truly sorry for your loss. But that was 25 years ago. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your choices and actions. You can't keep using childhood trauma as an excuse for adult behavior. I'm not excusing anything, Harry protested. I'm explaining why certain things affected me the way they did. But that's exactly what an excuse is, Kevin said. You claim trauma justifies your behavior. But what about the trauma you've caused others? Your family, the people who believed in you? What trauma have I caused? Harry demanded. By monetizing private family conversations, Kevin replied sharply. By turning your grandmother's final years into a public drama. By betraying confidences. By transforming your family into a soap opera. That's not what I did, Harry shouted. That's not what this was about. Kevin pressed. Then what was it about? What did you hope to achieve with all the interviews, the revelations, the drama? I wanted to make things better, Harry said, voice cracking. To modernize the institution, make it more relevant, more responsive. How's that working out for you? Kevin asked bluntly. Has it become more modern? More responsive? Or just more defensive, more closed off because of your attacks? They're not attacks, Harry insisted weakly. They're reform. Reform? Kevin laughed harshly. You call public humiliation reform? Airing dirty laundry in the international media? That's revenge, not reform. It's not revenge, Harry said, but his voice lacked conviction. Then what is it? Kevin demanded. What do you call turning private family disputes into public entertainment? Profiting from family drama while claiming to want privacy? Harry opened his mouth. Nothing came out. For the first time, he seemed genuinely speechless. I'll tell you what I call it, Kevin continued. A betrayal. Of your family, of the country that gave you everything. Actions of someone who's lost sight of what really matters. You don't know what really matters, Harry finally said. You don't know what it's like to have your own family turn against you when you need them most. There's a difference, Kevin said. Between turning against you and holding you accountable. A big difference. Tension thickened in the studio. Harry's handler rose, ready to intervene, but Kevin wasn't finished. One final question, he said. Do you really believe your actions in recent years have made the world better? Do you think attacking your family, undermining British institutions and turning your personal grievances into a global media circus achieved anything positive? Harry stared at him, face a mask of barely contained rage. I think, he said slowly, that you're a small-minded, bitter man who gets kicks from tearing down people trying to make a difference. Kevin's eyebrows shot up. There it is, the real Prince Harry. Not the victim, not the advocate. The entitled brat who hurls insults when he can't win an argument. I'm not insulting you, Harry shouted. I'm describing your character and motivations. My motivation? Kevin laughed. My motivation is truth, accountability, asking the questions others are too scared to ask. What's yours, Harry? What's really driving this? To protect my family, Harry said, nearly shouting. To create a better world for my children. To break the cycle of dysfunction in my family, Kevin shot back. By creating more drama, division, pain? How does turning your family into a reality show protect anyone? You wouldn't understand, Harry said coldly. You've never lived under that kind of pressure. You've never watched your mother hounded by the media. No, I haven't, Kevin said. But I also haven't courted that attention while complaining about it. I haven't signed multi-million-dollar deals to share private family moments. They allow me to be financially independent, Harry said defensively. Financial independence? Kevin said incredulously. While living in a mansion most people could never afford, while taxpayers still cover your security. That's not independence. That's having your cake and eating it too. My security costs aren't covered by taxpayers, Harry protested. Are you sure? Kevin challenged. Every time you visit the UK, every public appearance, you generate costs. And not just money. The cost to your family's reputation, the monarchy's standing, Britain's image. I don't care about Britain's image, Harry said. I care about truth, accountability, justice. But you have power and a title, Kevin said. You use it to attack those who can't defend themselves, to settle personal scores while claiming justice. I'm not settling scores, Harry said, voice unsteady. What would you call writing a book full of private family conversations? Publicly questioning their character? Turning family disagreements into international headlines? I'm telling my story, Harry said weakly. Your story, Kevin said. Always your story.
Never theirs.
Never the institution that gave you everything. Never the millions who respected you before you burned it all down. I didn't burn anything down, Harry protested. Then why are you less popular than ever? Why do polls show most British people lost respect for you? Why do your own family members reportedly refuse to speak to you? Because people like you poisoned them against me. Harry shot back. No, Kevin said. You are the media now. You've made yourself a brand. You can't blame the media for your problems when you've become part of it. I'm not part of the problem, Harry said. I'm trying to be part of the solution. By doing what? Kevin asked. Attacking your family? Undermining institutions? Making therapy public? How is that a solution? Harry was silent, breathing heavy. I think we're done here, he whispered. Are we? Kevin asked. Done because you ran out of arguments? Can't defend yourself? Or because you realize maybe you made mistakes? We're done because I don't have to listen to this, Harry said, voice rising. I don't have to justify my choices to you or anyone. But you do, Kevin said calmly. You made them public. You profited. You used them to attack others. You have to justify them. No, I don't, Harry said, standing. I came here to talk about my foundation, not be ambushed. My agenda is truth, Kevin said. Accountability. Asking the questions that need asking. Your agenda is humiliation. Your agenda is tearing down anyone who threatens your small-minded worldview, Harry snapped, pulling off his microphone. Harry, sit down, Kevin said firmly. We're live. You can't just walk away from tough questions, Kevin called out. Watch me, Harry replied, his tone icy and final. I'm done with this circus. Done with people like you who think they can judge me without knowing the full story. The full story? Kevin shouted after him as Harry moved toward the edge of the set. You've spent years telling us your story. Books, interviews, documentaries. If we don't know it by now, whose fault is that? Harry stopped, whirled around, face twisted with anger. The fault lies with those who refuse to listen, who refuse to understand, who refuse to show even basic human compassion. Compassion? Kevin's voice rose to match his. What compassion did you show your grandmother in her final years? Your father dealing with his health? Your brother trying to support you? I showed them honesty, Harry snapped. The truth. I wouldn't be silenced anymore. You showed them betrayal, Kevin shot back. Family loyalty means nothing when there's money to be made and scores to settle. That's enough. Harry's voice shook. I'm not standing here to listen to any more of this. Then don't, Kevin said calmly. Walk away. Prove my point. Show everyone watching that when Prince Harry faces accountability, he runs. Harry's fists clenched at his sides. You know what? You're right. I'm walking away, but not because I can't handle your questions. I'm walking away because life is too short to waste on people like you. People like me? Kevin asked. You mean those who ask hard questions? Those who expect public figures to take responsibility? No, Harry said, his voice hardening. People more interested in destroying than building. People who take satisfaction in tearing others down instead of lifting them up. I'm not tearing you down, Kevin said quietly. You're doing that yourself. I'm just pointing it out. The words landed like a blow. Harry stood frozen, mouth opening and closing, clearly searching for a reply. When none came, he turned and walked off the set, leaving Kevin alone at the desk. Kevin watched him go, then faced the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Prince Harry, walking away from questions he couldn't answer. When you've spent years avoiding accountability, facing it head-on can be a shock. The studio was silent, the hum of the camera the only sound. Kevin straightened his tie and looked into the lens. We'll be right back after this break with your calls and comments on tonight's interview, an eventful conversation that's sure to be talked about for years. A confrontation that captured the collision of old-school journalism and modern celebrity culture, accountability and entitlement, the hard questions and the people who run from them when they can't answer. What did you think of tonight's explosive exchange? Did Kevin O'Sullivan go too far? Or is this exactly the kind of journalism we need more of? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.